It's been over 2 years since the Daniel Craig era ended with No Time to Die. Since the end credits rolled and the house lights came on, Bond fans have wondered, well, what's next? Beyond the earned victory lap due to the franchise success, there's been little in the way of information about the next film. There's a never-ending speculation as to who'll take over the role, but nothing beyond the disappointing news from Eon that they don't even have a script yet and they need time to figure out what the new iteration of 007 will look like.
It'll be a while. We have a lot of work to do before we start casting.
Okay, so that's what we need to know.
But we're on the case.
While handling press for his new biopic Oppenheimer, director Christopher Nolan openly stated his love for the James Bond franchise, its influence on his filmmaking, and what he feels he would need and bring if given the opportunity to direct. Given the lack of movement from Eon and with no known post-Oppenheimer projects on deck, one could easily speculate that Nolan could write and direct Bond 26, and possibly result in the most significant creative pairing since Cubby Broccoli and Harry Saltzman recruited Terrence Young to direct Dr. No. This is a tantalizing prospect for Nolan and Bond fans, but in some circles, this could be a less than perfect venture. Since you asked, here are my pluses and minuses regarding Nolan in the director's chair. Reinvention. Nolan's take on Batman through 3 films is a major selling point here. Doing a version of the Caped Crusader in a grounded, near-present-day Gotham City showed the director is capable of focusing on the hero as he battles various villains over the course of his trilogy. His world-building assists the audience in understanding Batman's drive and limitations. This is a must for the James Bond character, as a new iteration must be compelling, dynamic, and reflect the new tone set by the producers. Writing. No matter if his films are hits or misses, Christopher Nolan's writing has proven just as important an element of his films as his choice of actors, cinematographers, stunt coordinators, etc. The Bond franchise is in need of new plots, MacGuffins, and villains with clear and fascinating motivations. Nolan could provide all of that in Bond 26, or possibly over 3 films as he did with the Dark Knight trilogy. This approach would be similar to what Arthur Raymond Benson accomplished with the Union trilogy, 3 Bond novels focusing on a Spectre-esque international crime syndicate. Nolan introduced time travel in a world of espionage via Tenet, and misdirection by mind control in Inception. Could we see 007 tackle AI or VR in future films? It's no secret that Nolan loves the Bond films and will pay homage to them when given the opportunity. Tenet was maligned by some, but I was surprised by the dialogue and repartee between the actors.
How's your parachuting?
I broke an ankle during basic training. Singh's house isn't tall enough to parachute off of.
It's bungee jumpable.
I don't think bungee jumpable is a word.
May not be a word, but it may be your only way out of that place. Or into it, for that matter.
No heavy-handed puns, but light-hearted sarcasm and playful banter, very reminiscent of the Connery era. Spectacle. Since the Brosnan era, Bond films are now labeled as action flicks, with each successive film going for more gunplay, car chases, and not to mention explosions. Nolan and his crew are extremely capable when it comes to designing and executing major set pieces, with none feeling repetitive nor derivative. Nolan's aversion to CGI, his desire to film big with IMAX cameras, and past technical collaborations with Bond alum means we could be seeing even more practical stunts and complex action scenes in some of the largest settings possible.
Chances are near zero. Near zero. What do you want for theory alone? 0 would be nice.
Here are the potential minuses. Control. Eon, the producers of the previous 25 official Bond films, are notorious for being a hands-on production company. These films are known to be a producer's medium, with the director essentially being a hired hand, someone capable of executing what Barbara Broccoli and her team of writers and staff have envisioned. During the Daniel Craig era, auteurs like Sam Mendes and Mark Forster were brought into the fold. Hiring Christopher Nolan, whom many deem a visionary, could present problems. Would Eon totally submit to Nolan's skill set and creativity given his success and status within Hollywood, or would they try to rein him in and prevent him from his recent perceived pattern of self-indulgence? Nolan's creative choices have for the most part been inspired or on the money. He took a risk that Heath Ledger could play the Joker in The Dark Knight, and that John David Washington could carry Tenet as a protagonist. However, some of his approaches have led to 3-hour runtimes, needlessly convoluted stories and or concepts, and artistic choices that have annoyed and or alienated moviegoers. Eon had been doing this longer than Nolan has been alive. He understands they operate with constraints, but will he feel that he can't give them his best unless he's given the keys to the kingdom? Bond film or Nolan film? Should a Bond film, written and directed by Nolan, become a huge success, who gets the credit and will it overshadow the other's contribution? And if it fails, who's going to shoulder the blame? Post-Nolan Bond. A successful Nolan-led Bond film could see Eon struggling to creatively produce subsequent films of the same standard. Could Eon possibly take another 5-year break to figure out where they're going to go with the franchise?
People say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's probably a formula for complacency in our business, which can lead to the end of the series. So I think we're always looking for ways to really break it and start over again. And we've done that several times now to give it a new life and to rejuvenate it.
My thoughts, since you asked. This could work. Other fans have pointed towards Matthew Vaughn, Guy Ritchie, and Edgar Wright as directors in waiting. Having Nolan at the helm could truly bring his hardcore followers and general audiences with something so unique and special that will connect with them with Bond for films to come. But what do you think? Please share your thoughts in the comments, and I look forward to replying to all of them. Thank you for the time, and I'll see you again soon.